Today we got a lot of stupid stuff we're doing, fixing random stuff. Right now, we're putting air in the front of this tire because it leaks on the old Big M. We're battery charging it. And then we're gonna pressure wash it because we're hoping we don't have to use it for a long time since we got the new one. The plan is to not have to use it for a really long time. So we're gonna wash it up real good, go through it so it's good, and park it. That tire leaks, so we gotta fill it up before we can wash it. We just used the air from the truck. We got this wrapped up hose that we have connected in the air system. We just wrap it up here after. And we got this charging. For some reason, she's got a draw. And if we forget to take the batteries off when we park her for a while, it's dead. Clearly, we forgot to take the batteries off. But we got her charged up, and then Philip's gonna wash her later today. Make her ready to go and park. We're up at the shop. We are getting the grass head ready. The old chopper's on it because at the end of middle of third, I gotta spray this. I'll lube it up. Chopper's on the big head. It's because third cut the big chopper broke, so we had to pull old reliable out. She got the job done, and then we actually ended up getting the 10-foot head up yesterday because we got to chop some heifer feed stuff, and we took that head up there earlier this year, but the path is really narrow, and the fender that you just watched that I had open on the side to do those chains, we bent both of them because the road's so tight. So we figured we'll just take the 10-footer, which is right there up. We had to change the sensors on the big chopper because it was only letting the whole chopper run in reverse, the knives and the feeder system. So we got that figured out, and we're gonna put the little head on it now. We've got to line up that hook and the one on the other side, pretty much clamp underneath this tube right here. And then there's a pin underneath on both sides, and that's all that holds it on. So you see that hook right there? That's about it. Now I just gotta lock those pins in underneath. It looks cute. We chopped for a couple years with it on here, so it may not be the biggest head and doesn't look appropriate, but it works. All right, so on this side, just gonna lock this pin in. That hooks it on. And then you gotta do the PTO. That's it, and then you gotta lock the other side too. Alright, we just gotta lube up. Same thing on this one. We actually had to put that chain on new, that one, and then that tightener, because we took it off this to put on the big head. Lube these up. Ready to roll for that heifer feed. On to the next project. Been charging for a half hour. Ooh, that door is rough. See if it starts. I will say now, cover your ears. It's loud. Oh. Alrighty. She's alive. thing brought over to wash and then let her get cleaned up. Matt picks the front one up. Park and brake. You actually gotta put her in gear. Puts her in turtle. And just like the John Deere choppers. Close this a little. So these old Big M's are literally like the 67's 6000 series choppers, John Deere's, same cab. So literally transmission's the same, lever control right here. You can take this and put it right in our chopper if you wanted to. It's literally the same thing. So to let the wings down, you gotta hold this lock button, and then this button right here. This does the right side, this does the left. We'll let that down. I'm only gonna let it down about right there. That way he can wash underneath. We'll let down the other side. There. I'm gonna leave the mower decks up for now. He's gonna clean all underneath them, and then when he's done, we'll drop it and he can clean the top part. I gotta change this front piston here. That's off our parts rake, but the piston's wore out, so I don't want to use it on here for long term. Marcus is rolling up here with the Bobcat. He's gonna grab some truck tires that I changed yesterday. I think I had 4 of them. They don't pass inspection. All right, Marcus, you gonna take those tires down to the tire pile? I had 5 tires to load up into them. 3 truck tires. One of them blew up, or the recap ripped off. One's off our mower, pull behind mower that blew up, and then a rake tire also popped. He's gonna take those down to the tire pile, and then he's gonna bring do some other stuff. Working on the triple rake now. So we got those tires moved. I got to take this piston off because this is off our old triple rake, which is mostly just used for spares. It can be used, but we just use it as parts mostly to keep this one going if something breaks. The reason we don't want to keep this one on is right here we just have a normal pin in, and we couldn't, the pin, factory pin got bent because in here the bushing got wore out. You couldn't tell because it was in there, and it hollowed the whole thing out. And then so we don't want to keep using it on here, so I don't keep bending pins. So we have a new piston because the one that was on here, the nut in here stripped out, ripped off, so it's shot. So we got a new one here we're gonna replace, and the right pin, and this stuff will go back on the old triple rake and used as future parts if we need it. I just took this little bolt on that holds this pin on. I'm gonna pull this out since it's loose right now before I take that hose off. Like that. There's a washer that's on this side to keep it tighter, so don't want to lose that. Now that I got that out, I'm gonna take the hose off, and then I'll take the pin out and get the new one put in. We got this hose right here.
There's my dad with my milkshake. I don't know what's wrong with my dad. I'm always tell you my bite. Tell you my silly. Daddy, did you got the milkshake?
Yes, there's no oil. Alright, hose off. At least no oil really. We'll pull this pin out and that'll come off real quick. Alright, on the double right here, we are putting this new arm on. We had a shaft snap on that, so we had to put a whole new arm on. And then we have one back here. We also had to replace. Already got the new one here. Oh no. That's the new one. We have to put the new one on and then switch the teeth over. Put the next one on, or this one on. They normally just slide right on. Put the bolt on. We started using bolts instead of I don't know, whatever they're called.
Roll pins.
Roll pins. Because those roll pins always snap on us, and then you'd be raking the field and your arms fall off, so the bolts don't break. And we just gotta switch these teeth over real quick, in a couple minutes, and this rake's ready for fourth cut, or that, I guess no, it's ready for the heifer feed that we're about to do. We were about to change the teeth, and we realized he put it on backwards. So, by backwards, that's facing the wrong way. So the angle would be off. You'll have that. He grabbed the big gun. We already took him off the way. So he's just tightening them up. We got one more to do. Put those teeth on. And then this rake's ready. What else? Got the new piston here. And then the factory pin. So actually I use this brand new pin to hit out the other one because it's bent. And what I mean by the other one is these have bushings in right here. They'll let it glide easy when you grease it, and on that one it just wore out and you can never tell. And it hollowed out the whole thing, so now it always bends the pin in it, and we just don't want to have it bending all the time, so it'll just snap the pin if you use it all the time. So we're just gonna put this on, and it'll help us in the long run. And then we still have that one as a backup if something ever happens, like a seal blows, because they sometimes blow, or if that ever happens again. It's like they knew this was gonna happen. They left the hole. Right. Hit the bent one out with the new pin and deal with it. It's going. Oh, it's loose. That works. Alright. Pick this up. And whoa. There goes everything. This, it's all hollowed out, it's ovaled. Got washers on both sides of the thing. Right. We cleaned them up. Okay.
Yep. You have an open for that?
No, it's just this bolt.
Oh, it's supposed to be open.
Oh no, I have this. Yeah, and then we got to get a come along or a ratchet strap. Pull this out because it's only a one-way hydraulic hose, and it's sucked in. Just pin in. You know, hold that washer in 30.
Where is it? Just one side?
Yeah, that side. The chain's hidden.
Pin is on the right side?
Yeah. Is it too tight?
Yep, right there. A little bit out.
Everything's falling.
Was that just a pin in this side?
It's just this bolt that we have to put in.
Okay.
The pin in there, the bolt in on this side. I put the hose on, then it's done. The last thing I got to do on this, now that the piston's done, is well, we put a rubber bushing in here. It's actually supposed to be a steel one. The reason there's a rubber one in here is last cut the steel one, the nut must have loosened up or whatever, it fell out. So we took a rubber one, from here, and we cut it in half so that wasn't too thick, because it can't be too thick. We put it on. The reason we can't leave it is it's squishing through the rubber, and it's going to the bolt that's on the inside, so it's only has like a inch piece of the top of the bolt hitting here, and it's making a dent. So we got the right one. I just have to open this up and put the steel washer in. So I got a rim right there, so when I let it down, it forces it to flip, and then I can pull it out. This is the steel washer thing. This is the rubber one. If you see this right here, this is where that bolt comes up underneath. And this right here was making a, not major, but if you keep running it, it's gonna make a bigger dent in it, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna put this back on. We got, let me put this away. This right here, it's actually supposed to be like a oval in there. It's supposed to be like an Allen wrench special caged bolt, whatever. We didn't order that with it, and I couldn't get one around here. So I just took a bolt, I cut the top off, and I welded it in there. It's almost flat enough. It'll work. I tightened that nut down so that it'd sit nice and straight, and then that'll fit in there. So I thought that was it, and I was just picking up the last of my tools, and I realized this shaft right here, which comes through right here, that is the main shaft that holds this entire rake on here, that allows it to pivot like this, and then there's pivot in the back that lets it tip. Anyways, this plate right here, I loosened it up already, holds the shaft from turning, because it's egged like this, has like a little square so it can't spin. And then it's supposed to stop it from sliding in with this little bolt right here. We've had it snap before. Why it snaps, really kind of stupid. What I'm gonna do is, the piece that I just took off is the same threads. So I'm gonna screw that in here. I'll use a bar. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna pull it right out, line it back up, and then I'm gonna get a metric bolt, same threads. And I'll just put that with a washer on the outside of this right here, and that'll stop it from allowing it to go back in, and it's not snapping that bolt. And then it'll also stop it from spinning because it'll stay on the wedge. There. All right, that's tight. Put these couple wrenches back. Alrighty, this rake's ready to go. That was the last thing. It's hot as heck. It's like 91 degrees, and I do not fare well with this weather. But we'll get this put to the side and bring up the next tractor. The Big M's all done getting washed. They got all the oils or grass, whatever was stuck on it, off. We had the fenders open, cleaned inside and everything. It's looking as good as this old machine can. I think it's a 2001. So it's looking as good as it can, I think, this winter. Because we're gonna do some small maintenance stuff to it that we want to do. But we might go through and do some painting too, just so that while it sits, it doesn't just rust away on us. The mower deck's some on top, nothing underneath really, but all the tops, there's some panel stuff. The top needs some new green. Stupid stuff like this. We've done it before, but it was kind of just right before we went in the field. It's kind of crappy. So we're actually gonna grind it and paint it nice. The next thing I'm working on is on the little 84 with the bucket. We have nasty in here because people can't pick up, but besides that, the seat, the latch system right here, it's stripped out, so I need to take the seat off. And then these right here are wore out. We already changed the other part, and we've been trying just to order that piece, and we can't, so I'm sick of it, and I'm gonna pull it off, and I'm gonna tack weld on each little nub, and then grind it and make it like new the hard way. But we can't get that stupid piece anyways because they keep sending us the wrong crap. We're sick of it, so I'm gonna do it like that. I got the seat part out. Just to get this that we're trying to weld, you gotta pull the whole back brace out, which means you have to pull the part your back goes on, so then you have to pull these bolts out back here, so that comes off, and then you can take the inside bolts off. It's stupid. Way too much work. And you can't even order this. We ordered this piece because it's welded to it, but the new piece came without this, so it makes no sense. So it's like you can't even get it. So we're not buying a new seat. We're gonna weld it. Well, all I gotta do is weld that and grind it up so it fits. But I think I'm gonna end the video here because it's probably gonna be long enough just with what I have done, and that'll be the last thing done today anyways. But you can see how the cab looks here, and this will be done tomorrow. So if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.